Round and round she goes. Where she stops, we now know it's a bull. Hey, good evening. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. Got the live Deerfield beach cam up. Normally I'm putting up the fish cams in the evening, but it looks really nice out there. And wow, take a look at that seaweed out there. Lots of sargassum out there. You can see it kind of lined up along the beaches. And quite healthy stuff, because this, when you see it way offshore here, that's where all the dolphin and the small fish are, and there's a lot of little shrimp in those things as well. If you ever go out there swimming here, you live in South Florida, pick up a handful of this stuff and shake it into your hand, and you'll see like little tiny creatures, including seahorses, little shrimps and kind of things fall into your hand. So lots of life in those weeds. Well, let's take a look and see what's happening. Beautiful night too. Been hot as hell though. Let's take a look at what tonight's quote is, and a lot of you probably are not fully aware, but I am a Second Amendment person, and I like this quote. I didn't attribute it to Benjamin Franklin, but I believe Benjamin Franklin may have said this, which is never trust a government that doesn't trust its own citizens with guns. I'm sure some of you are going to fact check me out there, or fact check the site Quote Fancy right here. But it sounds like something BF would say. So what's that has to do with gold and silver? Not much, but I know a lot of my listeners out there, and a lot of people that stack gold and silver, a lot of people that understand what gold and silver is for and the importance of it, are Second Amendment people as well. So I just figured I'd throw this up there and let you know I'm with you. Well, let's take a look at the markets today and see what's happening. Kind of 1834 the low. Let's take a look at the New York here, about the same. 1834 the low, 1856 the high, ends up closing at 1840, and 2160 on silver. So silver did take a pretty good hit there at midday, about 40 cents or so in the Crimex markets. We'll take a look at the 24-hour charts here shortly, but a high of 21.97, which I think it was sitting at before it got monkey hammered down, and platinum hanging on to that $900 mark. As I said in yesterday's video, given the entire environment out there, the fact that the dollar just buys less and less, the consumer price index shows that the this chart that we look at all the time right here, the purchasing power of the consumer dollar, which is a government chart, shows us how bad the dollar has gotten. And overall, that's just good news for gold, silver, and platinum. Going to do well in that environment, and a lot of folks are wondering why it hasn't done well sooner. But it's kind of follow my cursor right here. If you take a look at gold and silver, and we'll take just from 1913, you'll see that it does this. You see my cursor? But overall, what is that movement right there? That movement is upwards. Now, our timeline, our lives are in thin frames here. Say, here's a frame. Okay, put this. You see these little lines right here going up and down in the chart? Just imagine those are 10-year spans, 10, 20, 30, 40. There's a 40-year span. This is what the price of gold does in a fiat-driven currency world, which we are living in right now. It goes up and down. So if you happen to live through those decades right there, obviously the price of gold and silver is going to go up. Trying to predict the short term, though, it's always tough. The medium term is looking much easier for me to predict right now. I think we're ready for a bust out to the next level, which is 25 and beyond, more than likely 30 and beyond. It just depends on whether the manipulative behavior by the big commercial banks on the Crimex markets stops, and at some point it will. It will stop. How it stops, whether the big manipulative banks come out smelling like roses, like JP did, or whether they come out defaulting somehow. Chances are they're going to come out smelling like roses, and they'll milk this pig for everything they got. But no less, that's just the way it is, the reality. And if you understand this, you don't freak out and you don't worry about the long-term trend of gold, silver, or platinum. Let's take a look at the 24-hour charts here. And what do we got going on? Here is Friday. Here's the close today right here. And as you can see, the monkey hammering in the gold market, in the Crimex markets midday. There's no good reason for gold to be down. There's no good reason for silver to be down. Again, the only reason gold and silver is down is because it's down where the price discovery is made. Where is price discovery made for gold and silver? It's made in the criminal Crimex, NYMEX markets. It's made in the 24-hour New York CME-owned Globex Crimex markets. So the price discovery is crooked, folks. It's not. There's nothing wrong with gold and silver. There is a big issue where the price is derived from, and the price is solely derived in the COMEX markets. That's where gold and silver prices are derived from. And if those markets are crooked, it's not gold and silver that's crooked. There's nothing wrong with gold and silver. It's just that the price discovery or where the prices are determined is just shit. It's shit. It's crooked, it's manipulated, and it's shit, all right? So that's not a reflection on gold or silver at all. That's just a reflection on the places that claim they deliver you honest gold and silver prices or spot prices. But this too shall end, and the interesting quote by Ted Butler we'll get into in a few moments. Not going to make this a long video, hoping that most of you are going to go out, shoot your guns, go fishing, do whatever you do, race your cars, go out and take a long motorcycle ride. I'm going to do all four at once. No, I'm just kidding. Let's take a look at the silver prices, where they get monkey hammered again. There's where's last? There's our green market. This is the last market, monkey hammered in the New York COMEX markets here. So where silver goes to the high side of 21.80, close to that $22 mark, gets monkey hammered down to $26 and goes sideways. Again, folks, this is just collusive, manipulative behavior in the price discovery. The markets that people trusted for decades when they really probably shouldn't. So, you know, if the institutions that come up with prices and commodities, or even stocks and bonds, are crooked and allow manipulative, collusive behavior, you know, what does that say about their credibility? Not much. And when the credibility starts to fade with more and more people, which I believe I see is happening right now, there's more and more people coming to the conclusions. There's more and more people waking up to the idea that, yeah, indeed, the markets that they're playing in are probably more than likely highly manipulated. Well, anyways, don't want to get it. I'm just so tired of talking about manipulation in the gold and silver markets, but I don't worry about it because overall it too shall pass. And let's move along to the gold to silver ratio right now, 85 to 1. Currently today, well, there you go. There's your high, 85 to 1. Intraday low of 84, almost 84.2. So, I mean, that's a full, take a look at that, full 1 point there, 85, that it kind of moved up. And here's what happened more than likely. Silver moved down dramatically more than gold did. So, because both metals moved down a little bit, but silver took the bigger, steeper decline than gold, hence your reason for your 85 to 1 gold to silver ratio right here. But we don't look at this chart very often, but look at this 30-day 86 to, the high would be 86 to 1, the low would be 83 to 1, the high 88 to 1, the low 76 to 1, and that's kind of getting into more normal levels, I felt. 76 to 1, 88 to 1, 67 to 1. Remember that period in 2020, 116 to 1 to 64 to 1. So when you see the gold and silver ratio get way out of whack, when you see it start getting up to 85 to 1, 90 to 1, even higher, you know, we saw it get up to 116 to 1, it's usually telegraphing, and I believe what's happening and what you'll see happening is you'll see that gold is much higher than silver, and silver's lagging behind. This is when I think you'll see the greatest differences in the ratios, from, you know, or the higher ratios you're going to see is when gold moves up and silver's just kind of like sitting on the low side. But as I said, where gold goes, silver will eventually follow. Those ratios will tighten up. Interesting quote by Ted Butler in his newest article, and I hope he doesn't mind me showing one of his paragraphs right here, but you know, a lot of people do. So, and I highly recommend, if you're a dealer or if you're really heavy into the silver market, that you subscribe to Butler Research. Super smart guy, and he understands how these markets are manipulated. He kind of explains it in a kind of a layman's context. So again, highly recommend that you read his stuff. He has a lot of stuff out there you can read for free, particularly on silver doctors. And he also has a subscription service, which I'm subscribed to. Now, Ted said in his most recent newsletter that says, now after what is going on near 40 years, and he's talking about the manipulation in the price of silver markets, there is not the slightest doubt in my mind that it has been COMEX positioning at the core to why silver is so cheap. Again, that's what we just spoke about, that the price discovery, where the price discovery is made for precious metals, that's where the collusive, manipulated behavior is happening, okay? And Ted Butler goes on to say, and knowing it from history, that all price manipulation must end and end suddenly. All that remains is trying to anticipate just when the sudden end of COMEX silver manipulation will arrive. Would it end when it was most beneficial to the manipulators? And he's talking about the COMEX commercials that manipulate these markets. Or would it be when it was most harmful to them, aka what he calls, and a friend of his, and again, if you read his newsletters, you'll get that, full pants down, which means that will the manipulation in the silver markets end when it's most painful, just like the nickel short. Remember when the nickel default, when it really hurts the short positions, or will they be able to exit? Either way, it's got, and Ted Butler points this out really clearly, it's got to be one or the other. So regardless of whether these big manipulative short positions lose millions or billions of dollars in these trades, or whether they end up making money or breaking even is irrelevant. The fact is it will end at some point, and it always does. Manipulation always does end at some point. Well, let's take a look at, and when it does, I have a feeling in the silver market especially, we're going to see huge upside potential. Again, that's just my opinion. Equities markets just kind of sideways. Look like NASDAQ recovered a little bit here. S&P kind of sideways, and Dow Jones down a little bit. And again, I believe the only reason they weren't down substantially today is just because of intervention by the Fed, the Federal Reserve, the Treasury Department, and the Biden's administration under what they call the plunge protection team. We talk about that quite often, and if you're not familiar with it, just type in plunge protection team. It'll tell you everything you need to know. Bitcoin, I'm really curious. Any of you Bitcoin folks out there think that Bitcoin, we're going to see a sub 20 Bitcoin? I'm kind of curious, and I'm also curious, if you're confident with Bitcoin, you don't think it's going to zero, and I don't really believe it's going to go to zero, at what point would you buy Bitcoin? $10,000, $15,000, $7,000? I mean, seriously, I kind of curious what you guys think, and put it in the comments section. I'd be curious to know. I believe in being diversified, and I believe Bitcoin is going to be around for a long time. I don't think it's going to zero. That's just my personal opinion. I could be completely wrong. However, I think it was misrepresented to a lot of people, and I think a lot of people felt it was a get-rich-quick thing. But again, I do see a use for this particular type of asset in some form. You know what I mean? Maybe as a hedge against the dollar, but I don't think it's mature. I don't. And again, the question whether it's going to exist in the future is also still up in the air. But let me know what you guys think in the comment section. I'm kind of curious. As far as zero hedge goes, it's the weekend, folks. I'm not going to go and read a whole bunch of articles to you. I hope that you have ZH on your bookmark bar and you do read articles on there. They're not your typical corporate mainstream narrative and your corporate mainstream opinion, which is typically always wrong. I like the fact that they have all kinds of, not just Tyler Durden. By the way, Tyler Durden did not write this. He's the guy that runs the site. This is written by Michael Snyder via the Economic Collapse. And a lot of times if you just click the title there, you'll go right to their site. So more or less, ZH is kind of like a hub. Where a lot of different articles from different bloggers and different opinions and narratives are posted. And that's why I respect it. You won't get that with Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, and the other, CNBC and all the other corporate narrative trash that, the single opinion that they try to feed you. But good article here. I recommend that you read it. It's by, again, Michael Snyder. Here's 18 signs that the economic meltdown we've been waiting for has already begun. Of course, I think that most of the viewers here that watch me, or listen to me, not watch me, but listen to me, would agree with this. He goes into a couple things. Stock prices plummeting. Dow Jones Industrial Average fell beneath its low. The Dow is now 19% from the high. The first section here, he talks about, the first five, he talks about NASDAQ, Dow taking a big dump. Then he talks about 2/3 of the value of cryptocurrency has been wiped out since the peak of the market last November. And that's sucked a lot of money out of the system, folks. That's huge money right there that's coming out of the crypto market, coming from somebody's pocket. Not good. Not good for the general economy, especially since it's probably coming from middle and lower income people. Or not lower income people, middle class and Gen X's that really believed in the stuff. I mean, it's a big sucking sound, but I wonder where that money's going. Not in their pockets. Well, this week we witnessed the fastest rise in mortgage rates. So he starts talking about mortgage rates. Largest percentage ever sell. Large amount of sellers out there trying to get rid of their homes right now because they see interest rates going up and they see the prices start to fall. Home prices have fallen as much as 20%. And again, this section talks about new construction homes, and he's absolutely right. Bloomberg is projecting the probability, and when Bloomberg projects a probability, and they're like the rah-rah cheerleaders of the administration and of the narrative, the general official narrative, and when they're saying, they're telegraphing it, folks. They're telling you outright, get ready for bad times. They know it. They're telegraphing it. They're telling you. You know why they're telling you right now? It's because they don't want to pretend that they didn't tell you. But they've known it all along. They've known it. They've job moaned you into even getting more in debt, getting more fucked up and all. All right, don't get me going. So anyway, we're in for a recession. And what is a recession? I like this saying. I think I put the quote up one time. A recession is when your neighbor is out of work. A depression is when you're out of work, okay? And God, I hope it doesn't happen to any of you folks out there. Remember, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep researching, keep being diversified, keep buying gold and silver. In my opinion, again, that's my opinion. It's been around for 5,000 years, and one thing you'll do is you'll never wake up and see it when broke. So it's security to some, to a large degree. Gold and silver is mostly about being secure, feeling secure, knowing that if it all went to shit, you still got something in your hand. But I could go on for a little while. And again, I think I need to let you go and let's enjoy the weekend. Go do some fun stuff. My video, appreciate all the comments here. Donald Robinson, good on you, man. My earlier video, I said trade your Silver Eagles, trade your 90% constitutional silver for generic bars and stuff. And Don took my advice. He traded 240 Silver Eagles and got 290 ounces of 10-ounce bars. That's awesome, dude. 50 extra ounces you netted. You ripped it, man. Good job, Don. 240. Look, Don netted an extra 50 by trading overpriced Silver Eagles, and wonderful. Wow. Good job, dude. I'm proud of you. Hey, I'm happy that I was able to give you that advice as well. I hope some of you listened to me too. And I don't think it's too late. I think you can still make that trade. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, watch my video early in the week. Trade your Silver Eagles and constitutional silver. George says Uganda. Let me blow this up a little bit. I looked that up, George. Uganda found gold ore that may contain 31 million tons of gold. Dubious. Considering, oh man, what is it? I don't think there's million tons. Considering, no, I don't think so. 33 million tons of gold. And again, remember where the claim is coming from. It's coming from Uganda. So I think that's a highly dubious claim. I kind of did look at the math, and I looked at what the World Gold Council says that we have total above ground supplies, and it seems like some pie in the sky made up number. But no less, thanks for commenting, George. I appreciate it. And if you got any more information on that, let's keep an eye on that. Kind of interesting, but I believe it's just bullshit. Just my opinion, of course. Hey, Michael, what's going on? Misery index. Yeah, man, the misery index is not looking good. In fact, let's just take a look at it since we're here. Indexed by month. And the new numbers should be up here. I'm going to go watch. If you get dizzy, don't look. If you get motion sickness, don't look at this. Wow. 11.86, that's rising up. It looks like it's backed off a little bit. Maybe something to do with unemployment figures. No, maybe not. But no less, Biden not faring too well in the misery index here. And I believe this number will continue to get worse here, especially in the fact that we're heading into a recession / depression / stagflation. I'm not quite sure which of those. You could make a case for each. And let's go back to comments here. Thanks, appreciate that, Tree Climber. Good to see you commenting. Temporary says the ruble, hate to be dead horse power. Yeah, the ruble's doing really well, man. The ruble has gone up substantially, and that's, oh gosh, that's because, while our official geniuses in Washington, D.C. and Europe are playing checkers, I think you got the Chinese and the Russians playing chess, and a very good game at that. Man, I don't like to say that either. I really don't like to say that. In fact, I prefer we just all get along, but, man, my country sucks when it comes to chess, that's for sure. The administration does, this administration does it. I don't think they've been good for a long time, regardless of who's been in office. All right, I'm not going to go there. Silverline says, I'm late. I'm late tonight, too. Sorry about that, but it is the weekend. I got to get back into doing the morning videos. I've just kind of been out of my regular mojo and getting them done and just short-staffed. And, anyways, I got a lot of excuses, but I got to get back doing the morning stuff. And I would rather own silver and gold than a vacation home. I'd like to own both, but yeah, I think you have a good call. In this environment right now, I think that the property prices are going to come down substantially. Interest rates may go up, but they'll come down at some point as well, and property values maybe won't be as hot as they are at the moment. Oh boy, let's take a look here. Gold is gold. Bitcoin is not digital gold. That's true, Strongman. Thanks for commenting. Hope you have a good weekend. Wildcat says, went shopping at my local coin store today. Was shocked how little silver they had. 8 beat up 10-ounce bars at $5 over spot, and bought a tube of APMEX rounds. Sorry to hear that, Wildcat, but product availability on 10-ounce bars sucks right now. There seems to be 1-ounce coins available out there in generic issues, and kilos seem to be available in 100-ounce, but for some reason 10-ounce bars have dried up pretty much everywhere, and the premiums are pretty stupid on them, I have to agree. But gosh, and again, why is silver and the comics priced so cheap? Why is it priced so cheap? I don't know. Well, anyway. Bull, maybe, I'm sorry, I might have said bull instead of bear, David. I think you caught me. Dropping 800 points definitely is a bear. U.S., that's a good deal there. Half and 1-ounce metals, if they have them and they're cheaper than Krugerrands, and if I'm going to buy half-ounce and 1-ounce art medallions, I want them to be probably at least $10 an ounce, or $20 an ounce preferably, but $10 an ounce cheaper than what you could pick up Krugerrands for. If they're $10 an ounce cheaper than the good deal on Krugerrands, then I don't think that's a bad deal, especially for half-ouncers. And it's a great product. It's a U.S.-made product. It's got the same carat as a Krugerrand as well. So good deal. And of course, you know me, I recommend that you should be able to pick them up from a local dealer or something comparatively to that. But we advertise to beat JM, SD, and APMEX bullion ourselves, and I hope you have a good local dealer that can do the same, so you don't have to order from JM. Not that JM's a bad person, but I'm all about keeping that money local. Mark Hall says, buy low, sell high, just watch and get ready for whatever. I agree, Mark Hall. Damn, you are a handsome-looking devil. Take a look at that photograph, man. You look like, is that how you dress every day, sir? I bet you do. I just envision you like that. Very handsome, smart, debonair guy. Hey, thanks for commenting, Mark. You can see I'm getting a little loopy here. It's been a long day. Again, thanks for commenting and thanks for being a viewer. Wellco Services, always nice to see you, and you're always first in my book. Well, I think that's it, folks. I'm going to go into what the best deals are in God like a broken record. If you've already heard this, it's the same thing I've been telling you for the last several months or more. So you can just fast forward to the end, or just quit right now if you like, because it does get repetitive if you heard my videos over and over. But for you new folks, stay away from Constitution 90% silver. Stay away from Silver Eagle. Stay away from Silver Maple. Still, the best deal out there is silver bars. 32 kilo bars, 100-ounce bars, 1-ounce bars, and 10-ounce bars if you can find them. That is the best deal in silver, cheapest premium. JM has good prices out there, but we advertise as a local brick and mortar small country coin dealer to beat JM Bullion's prices on all their reasonably priced product, not the shiny overpriced shit, but all their reasonably priced 10-ounce, 1-ounce kilos, and 100-ounce bars. And if you don't live in South Florida, unfortunately I can't deal with you, so you got to find yourself a good local dealer. That's what I recommend, even if you have to drive an hour or two to do it. Keep that money in your state. Keep that money local. And my South Florida peeps that come here and buy from me, when you come buy from me, my employees, we spend that money maybe even at your businesses. We spend it around town. We keep that money local. I can't stress whether it's coins, tires, jewelry, whatever, guns, whatever. Buy local, folks. Buy local when you can. As far as gold goes, best deals out there, again, gold bars. Can't beat the price of gold bars, whether it's these ones, whether it's Valcombis. Next best deal would be gold Krugerrands, and then after that would be probably Canadian Maple Leafs, and then Buffaloes and Eagles. But the thing is, You know, there's not such a premium, stupid premium on gold right now. I mean, even the gold American Eagles and Buffaloes are trading at 130, and that's a better price than JM. At 130 or less is not that terrible, really, as far as a premium for a $2,000 or almost a $2,000 product. But the silver premiums are just insane, and that just tells me that the silver price is way out of whack. And again, let's not get to be a broken record by talking about why again. Well, that's it. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins. And as you know, I always say think for yourself and question authority. And that includes questioning yourself. You can't question others, and you can't question authority until you question what you believe you know. Where did you get your knowledge? Is it knowledge that you attained on your own by research and thinking? Or is it something you learned from the television, from your parents, from your school, or something like that you just take for granted that is true? But anyway, once you question yourself, you do a good job at that, you become an expert of questioning others and questioning authority as well. That's my opinion. I'm going to stick with it. This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. We're open 10 to 4, Mondays through Fridays. Call us anytime at 954-493-8811. And if you got any questions, or just come on in. We keep consistent hours. And again, folks, if you don't live in my area, please find yourself a good local dealer. I think that's it. Have yourself a great week and enjoy whatever it is you're doing, and I'll talk to you on Monday. Bye now.